Yes, sir. You see the group of guys, still the same guys on a different evening. Welcome to the 95 North Sports Machine. I am your host, Berto, joined by my co-hosts, Antoine Smitty Smith and Chris Tipmore. You already know, but we have two very special guests this evening joining the Sports Machine, man. Two up-and-coming Atlanta Falcons content creators, man. And we want them to speak for themselves. We want them to introduce themselves to the world. We'll start with Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, better known as E-Bear. Please let the world know who you are, socials, you name it. It's all yours, man. Foles, go ahead, brother.
Turn your mic on.
You're on mute, bro.
Sorry about that, but appreciate it, fam. Like you said, I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. New to the game, but I'm here with the superstars of the game. I see it right here. But like you said, it's up and coming. We got a lot of content coming. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of good content. So you like talking Falcons football. I'm your man. Well, should I say we're the man? We're the group. There's a lot of great content creators out there. I'm learning from them, and I'm just great to be a part of the game. I love talking Falcon football. I mean, people say I'm just like over too much for it. I go overboard with it. But as you can see, this is just a corner in my office. My man cave is racked out. So I don't miss out on the opportunity to buy anything I don't have of Atlanta Falcon memorabilia. So, but yeah, that's how I rock it. I've been at this game. I've been a fan since 1978. So, I got a lot of knowledge to share, a lot of things I want to talk about. I never get tired of talking Falcon football. But, you can find me on all platforms. Everything's Atlanta Falcon Fandemic. I think on Instagram, it's Atlanta Falcon _Fandemic. So if y'all would just please reach out to me and please comment too. Comment. I respond to everybody's comment. So but it may take me a day or two because I get a lot of them. So it's growing. So y'all reach out to me and subscribe to me. We'll talk.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We also have Jay of Atlanta Sports Zone too, man. Welcome to the show. Please let them know. Please tell the folks a little bit about yourself, also.
Yo, so Jay, Atlanta Sports Zone, been doing this for some time now. Everything Atlanta sports. I love the Falcons. I talk about the Falcons, but I also break down the Hawks. Try to break down the Braves. What there is to break down of them. But I'm just out here doing this. I know that's kind of a touchy subject right now anyway, but out here doing what I can. You can find me, my socials. I'm on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, at ATL Zone. And then you can find me on YouTube and kind of riding and doing quick analysis. Just something you can wake up to, something you can go to bed to, just quick 5-10 minute type deals, summarizing everything going on. So like I said, main channel is on YouTube, ATL Sports Zone, but you also can find me. I'm tweeting X and whatever you call it at ATL Sports Zone as well.
Love to hear it. So to the folks in the chat, man, welcome everybody that has been rolling through, man. We definitely appreciate you guys coming through. We also hope that you will, like you support us, support them as well. But a quick roll call for those that are in the chat. CJ Henson, what it do? Jared Talks, what's happening, my guy? Our brother Shaka Zulu is in the building, man. We miss you, man. Hope to see you. Stefan Mosley, man. Another up-and-coming content creator. He's doing his thing in the music world on TikTok, on YouTube as well, man. Telvin Phillips is in the house. Tony Wright, Eric Rogers. Justin Swisher Sweets is in the building. Our brothers from One Time for the Fan.
There he is.
Company. What's happening? What's happening? He's still getting me. Shout out to the panel. He says, NIL Berto, how much they pay the game drops.
I've been actually wondering the same thing, to be honest. But
exactly.
Chris, you about to get muted. You better stop, boy.
I ain't do anything. I'm not saying anything that nobody else is already thinking.
I heard Berto getting some dual Sanders money.
Oh man, I pray. I hope to God that one day. But just for you guys being funny, take that.
My! Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now.
That's uncalled for. That's uncalled
for. Man, y'all are great. Y'all are great. Breezy 1500 ATL Rise Up. What's happening, man? Waleed the Great is in the house. Midi 95 North, my son. How you doing, buddy? Hope all is well.
Nephew, what's good?
Yep. Oh, can't forget our guy, also part of the one time for the fan core for
Yes,
my
sir.
ATM Sports. What's happening to you, Will,
Man, look, we had so much fun on one time for the fan the other night, man. I almost passed away that night because I was laughing so hard I couldn't breathe.
Y'all were cutting the food. Them last 15 minutes.
Hey,
but before we get going, man, I want to dedicate this show to my aunt, man. She passed away a week and a half ago, and trust me, she was always one of the truest ones you ever want to run across, man. And we lost a good one, man, because like they said at the funeral, man, she believed in the Lord, and trust me, anything she said, she meant it, and she didn't say nothing twice. But rest in peace to her, man. God took away a good one, man. But trust me, no more pain, and it's tough, man. It's tough.
Got prayers, man.
Praise, brother, man. We definitely with you, man.
This show dedicated to her, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and put the best show that we possibly could for Auntie, man. And we hope to not disappoint at all, man. But Smitty, man, we appreciate you sharing that with us, man. I know that's tough, man. Yeah, Chris, anything you want to add on before we hit the topics?
Oh, yeah, man. Ready to hit the topics. Let's do it. Top of the evening.
Let's do it. Top of the evening, sir. Yeah. As we all know, we start with some not so great news coming out of the Atlanta Falcons camp. Relatively everybody that was injured last year coming back fully healthy, but we did suffer an injury to wide receiver Rondale Moore. For those that remember, Rondale Moore was acquired this past offseason from the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for Smitty's favorite quarterback, Desmond Ridder. But needless to say, man, the young man suffered a horrific injury. You know, Aircast was needed, and unfortunately, he will be lost for the season. But as we were talking just before we went live, man, you know, this is unfortunately is a business, is a part of the game. Do you guys, is there anybody on this Falcons wide receiving core roster that you feel can elevate themselves and step up to the plate and gain what would be some of the snaps going Rondale's way? I'll turn it to you, E-Man. What do you feel about that?
First of all, prayers for you and your family, Smitty, and your strength.
Thank you.
And also for the full speedy recovery of Rondale. But, you know, you never want anything to happen to any one player. But, you know, doors get open, you know, when stuff like this happens. But one player I'm looking at, Casey Washington. I'm really looking for that brother to be Penix's man. Same way Drake is for Cousins. I'm looking for Casey to step up. But I was looking at throws in the Friday night lights in the bands. And the throws that he caught from both Cousins and Penix, I mean, I wouldn't say they were necessarily Julio-like, but at the same time, they were catches you wouldn't expect a rookie to come in, come in the door making. And what was even more attention grabbing was one play he caught a ball and he hit the field pretty hard. He got up, limped off to the sideline, came back the next play and caught another one. And that's the type of the toughness that you're looking at. It was like Julio, you know, how tough he was. You know, he limp off, but at the same time, he came back and he put out for you, he produced for you. So I'm looking for Casey to be that guy.
Casey. Yeah, that's solid pick. Jay, what do you say, brother?
Yeah, he must have stole it. He must have been reading my notes or something. But I was going to say,
oh yeah,
I'm going to say Casey Washington as well. I think, as we know, Michael Penix found that Rondale Moore was his guy with the twos. I mean, every highlight you turn on, it was Rondale Moore touchdown from Penix. So I think as we, go into preseason, Michael Penix getting majority of the reps, as they decide to kind of rest, their quote unquote starters and Drake London. I think Drake London, Ray McLeod, Darnell Mooney, I think they are going to look to see what Casey Washington is really about. Now I'm hearing he can play both inside and outside. I know he was playing majority outside in college, but I'm hearing he has some inside skills too. So I'm really interested to see how he is, what kind of player he is. He is a bigger body, pretty fast kind of guy. But I want to see, can he develop on the inside? Can he, run a pivot route versus man? I want to see what he can do. Is he quick twitched enough to excel at that slot receiver position?
Indeed. I guess we got the answer to the test because I'm thinking the same thing y'all thinking.
Man,
But
everybody
yeah,
cheating off everybody.
we still got time to replace Rondell Moore. One thing that I think I'm going to miss about not having him this season is him lining up, everywhere on the field and possibly playing kick return as well. Something that Ray McCloud would do. But like I said, we have a long way to go before week 1, so we may find a diamond in the rough in free agency. James Washington could step up. Kadira Hodge could step up. And one guy that I think they could pursue in free agency before we get to that point is Marquise Goodwin, former 49ers Bills, wide receiver, 4.27 speed. He's a little bit bigger than Rondell Moore, but has similar skill set. Can also play kick return. So there are options out there, and I think they will find another option. But again, Casey Washington has been showing out in OTAs, Ricky Minicamp, all that good stuff. So I think he's going to push for that number 4 spot pretty heavy.
Right. Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I think we all can agree about Casey Washington probably stepping up, right? But I'm gonna go into a different direction. I mean, it's a few other guys that we have. Maybe Kadero Hodge can get into favoritism with the coaching staff. You also have James Washington, who is a veteran and also has some experience with some people on the coaching staff. So it's some other guys that could possibly be a dark horse, to step up and, take that spot position. But I think Casey Washington is the front runner. And as for punt return and kick return, outside of probably Avery Williams, I mean, regardless, the roster is not complete, and we still do have a long way until week 1. But we have a bunch of guys who are fighting for positions on the team right now who have that experience on punt return and kick return, like a Jaden Price, even like a James Washington, just to name a couple. So, I mean, we don't necessarily have to go make a move to go get other guys, because we do have guys who are trying to prove themselves right now, who do have experience in certain different positions. So, Casey's the favorite as far as wide receiver. When it comes to that punt return, kick return, I think it's wide open now. And you may have a guy who possibly wasn't going to make the team, who may sneak in through the cracks, at the end now because of this injury. And prayers to my 6th cousin, Rondell Moore, speedy recovery too. Yeah, that's right. I said my 6th cousin. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Speedy recovery to Rondell Moore, man. Never an easy thing to go through as a player. I know that it affects the mental, and these guys are competitive, so they want to be on the field at all times. But I'm going to go in a different route. While the consensus, sure, is Casey Washington, and why not? The kid has the makeup. Emmanuel, you alluded to it a little bit earlier with the practices, making the tough contested catches. Showing a rebound after a hit. That he suffered while going down, was able to bounce right back up and just not miss a beat. Right. There's a guy that's been around the Atlanta Falcons practice squad and on the roster, shuffled in and out the last 2 years, by the name of Josh Ali. The former University of Kentucky product, the 6-foot wide receiver in his own right. Not the burner. He's not a burner. But do we really need to add that element of speed? Once again, we have it in the form of Ray McCloud, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts. He's not going to take a top off of defense, but he has respectable speed that attracts defenders in whichever area he goes on a defense. A guy like Josh Ali could probably rise up to the occasion and steal some snaps or make his way onto the 53-man roster, while the Atlanta Falcons and their scouting department do a fantastic job year in and year out getting these guys or acquiring these guys, whether it be through draft or undrafted free agency. Undrafted players from the draft. Josh Ali could be that guy, man. And I've seen some stuff on him from camp, some nice route running. The route tree, he seems to be getting better at it, but the hands are there. And why not add another, possession style receiver to this core? We have it already with Drake London. Josh Ali, big body wide receiver. I would like to see him, rise to prominence and obtain a roster spot. So that's my thought on that. Smitty, you want to add anything before we move on to our next topic? It's a sleeper. It's a sleeper.
I actually like that James Washington signing, man. I see it in the video, man. I feel like him having a veteran the veteran time in the league and being really Pittsburgh still a sleeper because they had Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster at the same time. So he was like a third wheel, and he
Ike
came
Hilliard
in.
was real back there.
Right, and that was his coach in Pittsburgh. So he's familiar with Ike Hilliard. He knows what to expect, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah.
But that's a key point right there.
But Kirk Cousins is the key to this whole thing, man, no matter what. If he can get you the football in a wide open offense like this, anybody can shine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think you hit on something too, Smitty, with the Ike Hilliard comment, right? He's a contested wide receiver in this league, has been productive, in his time with the Giants and whatnot. Now he's a coach for us here, but that's a guy that's been in the game, for a long period of time that can, help a guy like Josh Ali, a Casey Washington, or whoever else we may bring in free agency or whatnot. So, having a guy like Ike Hilliard, not TJ Yates, teaching these guys how to run a route, but it's actually coming from a wide receiver coach himself and a guy that did it in the league for quite some time. It's also important as well. We have some pieces, man. It's just maximizing their potential or just tapping into that potential to get it out of them to help them, produce for this Falcons team. Want to shout out real quick, keeping it Who That Sports Podcast, Falcon Nation. How you guys doing? Great show as always. Quick question: how much will Penix play tomorrow night? Have a great night. Yes, thank you so much for the question. Thank you for coming through the stream. Shout out Who That Nation. Guys, I think he plays at least 2 quarters, maybe 3.
Yeah, I say one half.
I say at least a half.
Absolutely.
At least a half.
I would say one half for him, 1 quarter for Heineken, and 1 quarter for Rourke. I think that's how they're going to pursue it.
Yeah, there we go.
Give me a half. Yep. 100%. That'll be enough right there for the first game, a half.
And while that question, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
It'd be good to see him play. Just get out there and sling it. No pressure on him. Well, a little pressure, but just play ball. I mean, a lot of people haven't seen him do that since Washington. I know his career kind of ended, without winning it, but I'm interested to see him how he just plays, no pressure, knowing, hey, I'm not going to be the starter for right now. I can just let it loose. Yeah.
One thing for certain, though, you can tell that he's learning from Kirk Cousins, even through the practices. And I love the way that Joker, he had that Michael Vick arm type throw. It's effortless, and it's almost like he doesn't care. He throws like he doesn't care, but he's doing what he's supposed to do. But the way he learned behind Kirk Cousins, as opposed to what he did at Washington, he surveys the defense. When he drops back, it's not a rush anymore. He looks. I think he had one miscue in the Friday Night Lights in the bands.
Yeah, he did.
But you saw the chemistry he had with his receivers. I mean, every throw was like on a dime. So the example that Kirk Cousins is setting for him, I mean, I think it's going to show tomorrow night, and I think he's going to have some. He probably going. I would look for him to play through 3 quarters because Raheem Morris said he's going to get an extreme amount of playing time. So I'm wondering if that's going to extend past even the halftime. So who knows? We'll see.
The only reason I said the last 2 quarters are going to be the backups is they're going to have to see which guy is going to be the number 3 of Nathan Rourke and step up and make Taylor Heineke expendable at the 3rd position. I think that's what's going to happen because they probably can get a day 3 pick for Taylor Heineke if they trade him to the right team. I could see him out in Oakland. Not Oakland, I'm sorry, Las Vegas. That's how old I'm getting. I could see him in Houston. I can also see him up north with the Jets. Yeah. Because they don't really have a backup. They traded Zach Wilson, so we'll see. We'll see.
I can see Taylor Heineke being expendable for us. The fact that we went and got Rourke. Rourke is a solid quarterback. He's not going to. He's a step. I ain't gonna say a step up from Desmond Ridder. He's a far improvement from Desmond Ridder. So you can bring in a quarterback like Rourke, and he's always been one of these ones that can come in. He's like Ryan Tannehill. he was, when his name got called, he was able to step up and elevate himself. And Rourke, I think, can do the same thing with the weapons that we have here.
Solid, man. I love it, man. So before we move on, man, we got a quick statement here by our brother Mark Chaney, another wonderful YouTuber, man. Make sure you guys go and show him some love on his channel, Mark Chaney on YouTube. Another great Falcons content creator and Hawks as well. But he's got to stir the pot a bit. And Smitty, you're all about stirring shit up, man. So we're injury away from having a very weak wide receiver core. So there is a a superstar wide receiver that is available, so to say. 1 foot in, 1 foot out with the Pittsburgh Steelers. We don't know what's going to happen. Brandon Ayuk is available, of course, but I want to get you guys' thought. Is Brandon Ayuk, would he be a fit here in Atlanta if this statement holds any water? We're a wide receiver away or an injury away from a weak wide receiver core, but trading for a guy like Brandon Ayuk obviously would strengthen it, right, in most eyes. But is he a system fit for what the Falcons want to do in 2024? E-Man, your thoughts?
I thought long and hard about Brandon, and he's a great, phenomenal receiver, and he's going to give you what you want on that field. But like you said, is he a fit for what we have already here? And our receiving core is already a suspect because we have receivers that has limited amount of experience outside of Kyle Pitts and and Drake London with a couple of years in, and Kadarius Hodge, who's been here a minute. But it's that mental thing when it comes to Brandon Ayuk. Is he going to bring that baggage with him to another team? And he's going to perform. But you got Raheem Morris, who's that guy that's who like to get guys to buy into the system, but do you see Brandon humbling himself to do that? And I just don't see it. I mean, like I said, he's a phenomenal, an outstanding receiver, but when it comes to that mental thing, something like that can destroy the team, or like I say, the receiving core. Because if you get Drake London, who's already saying he's feeling some kind of way about last season, and then you bring in Ayuk, Brandon, and he's getting all of these, he's getting all the attention. That can actually, that can actually hurt Drake mentally anyway.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Bringing a guy in, dropping a bag on him when he knows he's upcoming himself. His contract is looming within a year and a half, 2 years.
And that'd be crazy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
let's get Jay's thoughts.
Yeah, I think number one, can we afford Ayuk? I think that's a big maybe.
No,
not at all. But maybe if we want to push 2 coins to the side. But I think in regards to system fit, I think he will fit a West Coast style offense, but I don't think he'll fit the Atlanta Falcons offense as is built right now. I think you got a lot of investment in Kyle Pitts, you got a lot of investment in Drake London. And the way Zach Robinson, that Sean McVay type offenses, they usually feature one receiver and then they have another receiver. So that was it was Puka Nacua last year. But they usually feature one receiver, that Z or X receiver, and then they essentially kind of utilize another receiver to kind of run crosses and digs and things like that. And so I don't know if there's enough balls, passing balls to go for, Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Brandon Ayuk, and you pay Darnell Mooney for all this money. You're going out there, you're trying to figure things out. You're trying to say, hey, we want to invest in Drake London. He's a young, up-and-coming star. We got this quarterback for him. Let's feed him all these touches. And I think you're stunting his growth and development if you bring in Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is a great player, no disrespect to him. But if you want to grow as a young organization, as a young team you got all your star players under 25, under 26 years old. If you really want to stunt your growth, I would say bringing in Brandon Ayuk will do that. So I think he's a great player. Fit-wise, he could be a good fit for the offense, but I think for how it's currently constructed the team right now, I don't think he'd be a good fit for the Falcons.
Chris, you can wait till the show over to go get cheese and crackers, man. Stay at your microphone.
My bad, man. My bad. Brother get hungry sometime though.
Don't do Chris like that, man.
But with Brandon Ayuk, man, I definitely agree 100% with ATL Sports Zone. We call him J around here. I'm gonna tell y'all before I go spend money on a wide receiver such as Brandon Ayuk, and I know, like I said, in this offense, any wide receiver can eat. All they have to do is just come to the park ready to play every Sunday. But instead of going out the big name wide receiver, I would be going out the guy like Michael Parsons. Would Dallas be willing to trade him? Because as we've said on the show, and as my boy Bro Talk said, he could be the odd man out in Dallas. I don't see Jerry Jones starting over at quarterback, and I don't see him getting rid of CeeDee Lamb, the number one receiver, his top target. So he could be the odd man out. I mean, they could probably find money the off season, but if somebody offers them 2 first-round picks, I think they're gonna take it. But Michael Parsons would be my pick, other than the Brandon Ayuk or any other superstar player in this league, because we've been saying for years, over a decade, we need that guy that's a game changer, the defensive end position. So I don't want to talk about Ayuk, but if you want to talk about Michael Parsons, I'm all ears. And that's all I have to say about it.
So the thing with Ayuk as well. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just about to say, man, I'm not big on Ayuk either way it goes. Whether we had the money, whether we didn't have the money, the production is okay, but I honestly feel like he should be a better player than what he is. As far as I know people say he's a top 10 receiver, probably in stats last year, but overall, maybe I can name 10 guys that I would rather see or rather put in front of Brandon Ayuk, and I'm not paying that price tag, whatever it is that John Lynch wants for him. There's no way. I asked the question. I said, who in the world do they think they have? Like what the things that they're asking for? It's like, come on, man. This guy's not like a breakout superstar receiver. You know what I'm saying? He's good. He's good. I'm not saying he's not good, but for what they're asking for, what we're trying to do, and just overall production and everything like that, he will disappear. So I'm good.
Yeah, honestly, and if you ask me honestly, you have a wide receiver, Bijan Robinson, as well, third on the team in catches last year with 58. So you really just don't need to just go spend money. Like Cedric Entertain, you say, willy-nilly, because you got a receiver Bijan as well.
Yeah, man. You got to remember one thing too, man. Who's the head coach? Kyle Shanahan, and anybody in that offense looks fantastic, right? I think Brandon Ayuk is a schematic fit for what Shanahan does in Frisco. I don't believe that any team if Pittsburgh wants to deal that, you do that. That's fine. If trade for him, but I don't think he'll have an immediate impact like a lot of people feel like he will have from the jump. This is not a wide receiver that is cut from the cloth of a Julio Jones or an AJ Brown. Damn it, I'm gonna say it, but even in Antonio Brown,
not even an AJ Green.
Not even an AJ Green. These are guys that were able to move on from their organizations and still be productive. Not really, Julio. Honestly, he left his hamstrings in Atlanta. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ayuk, he's not, man.
Yeah, honestly, with a better quarterback, Drake London probably could have put up better numbers than that.
Yeah.
Facts. And we may see that this year. We may see that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm with you, Berto. Playing under Kyle Shanahan, a lot of you pretty much put any receiver over there, he's gonna pretty much succeed. Right. In that West Coast. And when Kyle Shanahan was here, our tight ends were looking like wide receivers. Like you said,
Hooper was hooping.
Yeah.
Everybody was calling for hoop name.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's still suspect, on the right. I often say right, but you know who I'm talking about. Ayuk. Yeah.
Man, Mark Chaney, he's just staring up Kool-Aid, man. He said, Brandon would be wide receiver if he came number one if he came to Atlanta. Stop, Mark.
I'm gonna refute that one. I'm gonna refute
I don't think so, man.
I got a rebuttal for that. I guarantee that Cal Pitts and Drake London will be better than him. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah. Kyle Pitts needs to be the focal point of this passing game, point blank. Period. He controls the middle of the field. They control the game. Just keep it that simple.
So going now, this was a great talk about, Rondell Moore going into Brandon Ayuk. Thank you, Mark, for sparking that second segment in our show. But we're going now into the preview of the Falcons versus Dolphins. Fellas, 24 hours from now, we won't be doing what we are right now. Our asses will be on the seats, glued to the TV, and watching our Falcons take the field in 2024. Joint practices, as we all already know, have been with our Week 1 matchup, the Miami Dolphins. And a lot of great reports from Miami about the Falcons and how they've looked thus far. But going into the game tomorrow, what are some areas that you gentlemen are looking forward to seeing? Is there a unit in particular that you want to see, or you're going to have extra eyes on? This is a younger Falcons team that we've accustomed to having. We definitely have a good blend of vets and rooks, but it seems like the younger guys are outweighing the vets on this team. But Emmanuel, I'll ask you: is there a certain group that you're going to be paying close attention to in tomorrow night's matchup?
Not necessarily a specific group, but like you just said, we have a bunch of young guys on the team. And also we have a lot of new pieces to this team. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback. So I'm looking for that chemistry that we need. That this can Coach Raheem put this team together and develop that chemistry like we had in 2016. It's definitely going to be needed under Kirk Cousins if we're expecting that much from Kirk Cousins. Now, if we're just saying, okay, we got a few pieces together to sustain to be able to put Michael Penix out there, then that's a different story. But what I'll be looking at is if that chemistry is going to be able to be developed. I'm sure it will. Under Raheem Morris, I mean, the guys gravitate to his system and they gravitate to him. They bought into his vision. So I'm pretty sure that chemistry will be there. It's just a matter of when it's going to get started. Are those pieces going to get put together to put together a winning season? Because as of right now, we still in power ranking, we still kind of low. But I'm looking at me myself, especially going into the future, and whether or not we're going to be able to establish that chemistry.
Very good, very good. Jay, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, I think I got two kind of sets of groups. Number one, I got a defensive line. So I know we invested heavily on a lot of these young guys, Ruka Rowe, whatever, Brandon Dorless, Zion Lowe.
Just say row, you boating. That'll work.
I know.
Roll.
I will never get that name right, but that's all right. But no, I really want to see, is that investment worth it? Like, we spent a lot of draft capital, pick after pick after pick, to ensure that interior and kind of that defensive end position is secure. Is it going to make a difference? Is Onyemata and Grady Jarrett going to be able to take, half the snaps they did last year? I know they were hurt, but are we able to relieve pressure from them? Is this plan of, selecting straight defensive linemen for 3 picks going to work? I thought they could use, a corner in some positions. I thought they could use maybe a pure edge rusher, but they went straight to solidify the defensive line. So I'm interested to see how they play. Are they nasty like a lot of people are saying they are? And are they actually good? I mean, we kind of expect them to be, but how good can they be going against, one or two, the second or first string offense of the other team? Another group that I'm looking at, it's not really a group, but I'm actually looking at Zach Robinson. I want to see kind of some of his base offense. He's a guy who's kind of slid under the radar. I know he's a new first time OC. How good of a play caller is he? I've heard his offense has been humming, but what is he looking to? What is his expectations? What is his tendencies? How does he control and call an offense? So those are my two people, the D-line and then Zach Robinson. He's not a player, but I'm interested to see how he flows and how he calls an offense.
Very cool.
Chris,
go ahead.
J Truck, don't come in with that bullshit.
Man, I just want to you're crazy. Oh man. Hey, I want to pivot real quick to E-Man. E-Man, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat right here because we're gonna have a quick conversation.
Here we go.
Give us your thoughts on the Braylon Trice situation. I know you have some amazing content coming out on that very shortly. But to Jay's point, speaking about the defensive line and Dorless and company, what are your thoughts on young Braylon Trice, man?
That's actually my next player of the week segment, Braylon. I stuck with the defense. I'm a defensive guy, defensive coach, so I love defense. So I like talking about defensive guys. I'm looking at Braylon. When I think about Braylon and his tangibles, right? I think about what's our DN? We just interviewed him. Ex Falcon player.
Just interviewed him? John Abraham?
Abraham. You think about Abraham. Abraham came along slow. If we can bring about Braylon like Abraham came into the league, I'm not saying we brought him in, but if he comes along like that, Braylon has some violent hands. When Braylon hits, and it's the same way like Abraham did. When Abraham makes the initial contact with you, your shoulder pads go up, they go back. The player goes up and don't know what to do with them. And the one thing that stood out about Braylon, reading the run, he don't just go and seal that outside. He seals that outside and look for that ball, and he makes his way down that offensive line.
Right.
He doesn't stop there. He doesn't stop once he gets blocked. He had that tremendous motor, just like a lot of the guys on the defensive front had this motor that push, that get pressure on that quarterback. And one thing that we have allowed as a defense to is allow a quarterback to sit in that pocket and dictate what they want to do. So if Brady can come along and do what we suspect him that he can do and get pressure on that quarterback like he did at Washington, and I'm talking that would enable other players to do that they can do. And if we can get that quarterback to make throws that he's not accustomed to making, make throws that are ill-advised, I mean, that's all what cornerbacks want. That front seven to do what they need to do so they can do what they need to do back there. That's how that 2016 team seemed like they were flying all over the place to make interceptions, make plays, not necessarily shut down corners, but they made big plays. We got our hands on a lot of balls. As a big country would say, there's a lot of hot balls flying around there. So, and we were on the tail end of those, picking them up. So he gonna get me. But
big country don't infect the E-man with the hot balls treatment. My goodness, Paul. My goodness.
But when that front seven got pressure on that quarterback, we made plays on defense. And like I said, when that chemistry is developed, especially like when man, we wish we had Calais Campbell was here.
Yeah.
At first, it seemed like we didn't have a identity until until he started playing. Once he started playing, it seemed like all the rest of the defense wanted to start playing until Grady got hurt. But when Calais was here, he led by example. He was that veteran, and if he had been here, I'm pretty sure he would have been glad and to accept the responsibility of bringing along Braylon Trice. Not necessarily giving him insight on the position because they play two different positions, but at the same time, you talk about a guy that can get the job done, bringing in a guy who could potentially be the face of the defense in like a year or two, like in maybe 2 years. So, but Braylon, y'all look for my content on him. It's in depth, and I mean, it goes all the way back to at Washington. His play at Washington, like I said, he wasn't on my radar at all coming into the draft. He was nowhere near it. I like the Jared Verse, but the more I looked at Braylon, the more I feel like he was the best edge to come out of the draft for us and for what we needed. So I got the content coming up. I'll probably drop it either tomorrow or the day after. But it's look-see.
And very I agree with that. And I was actually looking at Braylon Trice back in February because after we hired Jimmy Lake as defensive coordinator, it only made sense. You get somebody that knows the system. You get one of the best defensive ends in the country when it comes to pressuring the quarterback. And actually, the two other guys that we got in the draft, him and Dorless, at their position, they were the top pressure guys. So now you add them to a veteran core such as a Grady Jarrett, a David Onyemata, and really Ruke as well. He's athletic to be a defensive tackle. So you add athleticism, you add pressure with these young guys, and it's a recipe for success, I hope. So as I look at it, going into this game, what I would like to see mainly is see where the offense stands, like you said with Zach Robinson. See how he's coming along. I would like to see this offense in some kind of rhythm during any part of this game. If they can find some kind of rhythm, that means they're headed in the right direction as far as chemistry. Chemistry is going to be important no matter if it's Kirk Cousins, no matter if it's Michael Penix, no matter if it's Tyler Heineke. So rhythm is going to be the most important thing on offense, I think. Not only this game, but preseason going into the regular season. So we'll see what Mike Penix is at, because they've had rookie mini camp, OTAs, and now training camp. So now it's time to just get to work and, stay in the film room.
Right, man. It's time for the guys, man, like especially the backups that's trying to make the team. It's time for them guys to prove their worth. Everybody knows that they got to put their best on tape, because, are you adapting to the schemes? How well will you execute? With having confidence at the defensive position, defensive coordinator position, and offensive coordinator positions. Are you getting the gaps, shooting the coverage and containment? It's a lot of questions that we still have to that has to be answered, and that has some uncertainty when the bright lights hit. So tomorrow is going to be a test, because we have a speedy offense that we're going against. I can't wait to see how we respond. I believe we have the right coaches and staff, the right energy and staff. I believe it's time to finally let that bottled up energy that Raheem Morris and those messages and just the confidence that he's instilling in these guys, and it's time for them to go ahead and make it translate to the field. More than anything, that's what I want to see from this team as a whole, to let everything, the teachings, the energy, the frequencies, let it all translate to the field and show us and show the fan base like what we have. As far as Michael Penix, I expect the coaching staff to give him some easy rhythm throws to start off, get him going. I want to see his ability to recognize what the defense is doing, audibles into the right plays. More importantly, I want to see his throws, accuracy, and decision making. It doesn't have to be loud, because I know we're going to run the ball as well too. But I just want to see what he has. Show everybody why you're the number one pick. Eighth overall.
Beautiful, man. Well said by everybody, man. I agree with what everybody has to say on the panel right now, man. Definitely got to see what Michael Penix shows, to make him worth the 8th overall pick, as I called it back in April. I think it was. We was a part of a mock draft, and I took him in the 2nd round. I caught hell for it. But, Michael Penix, it is do-rag season in Atlanta. I think I was the one that called that. Thank you so much. I think me and Chris called the Brandon Dorlin situation, if you do remember. But no, I'm just messing around. But no, you guys brought up some great points. And for me, I'm excited about what Zach Robinson is gonna show and his first time as a play caller. He comes from that Rams background. Also, working with O'Connell there. Don't be surprised if we see some scheme things that the Vikings do as well, because both of those guys spent some time together in one organization, which was the Rams, and before they branched out. Obviously, now we have Zach Robinson. So with the skill set plays that we have, I think our offense is in good hands. We rectified the problem at quarterback, bringing in Kirk Cousins. I know a lot of people, they're up in arms. Is he going to produce, man? Listen, you don't bring in a Zach Robinson to pair with a Kirk Cousins if they don't think it's going to work from day one. The guy knows the verbiage. He knows the offense. It's exactly why the plan is in place for how it's going to turn out. I'm not worried about the offense so much. Turn dial, right? The defense. So many great things with the Braylon Trice comes with some sort of pedigree. Same does Brandon Dorlus. Hey, let's not forget our 5th round pick, JD Bertan, who looks like Captain America in training camp. A guy that does everything right. Yeah,
it's
a guy
stamped, y'all. It's stamped.
He does everything right. He brings an added mentality to what at one point was a weak spot for this Falcons team, the linebacking core. Now looks like to be a strength on this team with Caden, a returning Troy, and JD Bertan. These guys are going to hold it down. D-line. This year's draft, as E-Man and as Jay has spoken about, of course, Rook, Braylon, Dorlus. These guys, to me, all scream versatility, right? What do we have on staff already? Versatility in our own right. Zach Robinson, as Dave pointed out, put on some weight. He's being asked to play more than one role now. He's playing on the outside, and he might be kicking in on some third down pass rush packages. That's asking him more to do than what he already does, right? Grady also. Yeah, and Grady, he's versatile in his own right. He's played from the 0 to the 1 to the 9. He's played all up and down the field, right? While all of that blend, and I'm excited to see how it's all gonna cook up. My main concern is Jimmy Lake and how he's going to overtake a defense that responded very well for year one coordinator last year in Ryan Nielsen. And the thing that I'm looking at the most is third down defense. Yeah. That's going to tell a lot. I will love to see, can't wait to see some of the sim packages that he's going to illustrate on third downs to see what this rush is going to be like, see what the combination of guys are going to look like into the season. Falcons, folks, they finished third in third down defense last year. And it's a complete 180 when he took over from Dean Pease back in 2022. Ryan Nielsen worked magic last year. Yeah. Also had the Falcons really, really stifled or really tough in fourth down or red zone defense. Finished fourth in the league. Those are key areas for me because it's gonna depict and determine how fresh these defensive guys can be, and how much the offense, how that's going to help the offense is what I'm trying to say. Because both offense and defense go hand in hand. So those are the things that I'm going to be looking at. The rotational pieces on the defense to correlate with how Jimmy Lake is going to go ahead and showcase these guys on more particular on the important third down.
Yeah. Fact. Hey, another thing too, guys, real quick, like, to Berto's point and the marvelous job that Ryan Nielsen came in, gave us a defense, y'all. We had a defense last year.
Ranked 11th in the league.
At the end of the day, and I'm not saying that he will do this because I wholeheartedly don't believe that he's trying to be or anything like that, but I don't need Jimmy Lake to be Ryan Nielsen. I just need him to be Jimmy Lake and take us forward. Be the teacher. Get these guys in the right positions. You know what I'm saying? Listen to your head coach who has experience as well. You know, y'all collaborate as y'all been doing anyway. Continue to collaborate, come up with the best situations, the best pass rush, the best coverage, everything, man. Like, just be Jimmy Lake. I mean, we don't need you to be Ryan Nielsen. I just want to put that out there too.
Yeah. And one thing I like about how they put this defensive front together. Every player that's on that defensive front, as well as the depth defensive guy that they brought in, has high percentage at getting pressure on that quarterback. Brandon Dorless, Braylon Trice. Braylon Trice was number one in the league in college last year at getting pressure on the quarterback. Brandon Dorless, same way. Ruko Roll, he was the same way.
I said just say roll your boat and we'll know what you're talking about.
Roll.
You can even say roll and we'll know what you're talking about.
Oh man.
Yeah. At some point he's gonna say, okay, y'all put some respect on my name. But
it's all love, baby.
Yeah, true indeed. We with him. But we riding with him. But every guy that we brought in, even down to the third and fourth string guys, has tremendous motives to get to that quarterback, and they all built like Grady Jarrett. All don't have, they have that same mentality. I'm just waiting to see what Root does, because when you have a guy like Root who just talk with a big old smile on his face, and he said with a smile, "I'm just ready to hit somebody." And the last person that you heard say that, or I'm gonna say the last, one of the last two people that you heard say something like that was Ray Lewis, and then you had I'm brain farting here.
Mike Singletary used to say it too.
Yeah, but when you have a guy that gives a press conference like that with a smile on his face and looks as humbled as he does and says, "I'm just ready to hit somebody."
Yeah.
I just want great things from it. You expect great things, and something. We had a guy here a few years ago that made his name in that combine, saying the same thing in the form of Marlon Davidson. We just hope don't turn into that. We pray to God.
We can go further than that too, right? With a guy named Tack who came up there with a picture. You know what I'm saying, of a lovely lady who is no longer with us.
Man,
Oh,
these
man.
guys undoubtedly got to show up and show out. But you know, I have confidence in this Falcons brass, right? And going ahead to make a bold decision like they did to trade up and get Rook. You know, the last year they made that bold choice as well to trade up in the second round to get Matt Bergeron, and we're reaping the benefit now, right? He's by a lot of scouts and a lot of NFL media personalities expect him to break out now in year 2. So we're praying, you know, that's Rook's trajectory for years to come. I mean, I'm going to expect the world out of him in year 1. I'll expect him to make some splash plays and get his name mentioned here or there in some media circuits. But I like to see year 2, year 3 of his consistency and what he learned from year 1, or some people may call it the maturation process within the scheme. But gentlemen, if we're good with this topic here, we're going to springboard into our last topic of tonight's show, man. And again, shout out to everybody that has come through this evening. Thank you to you two gentlemen as well, E-Man, Atlanta Falcons fan, and Jay from ATL Sports Zone. We definitely appreciate having you guys on, collaborating with us, talking some good old Falcons football. Right now, we are up to 152 views on all platforms, which is
let's get that number 200. Let's get that number.
Let's get it up. Absolutely. We thank everybody. And for all those eyes, please go to Atlanta Fandemic on YouTube and ATL Sports Zone as well on YouTube, and
go back up in the chat. I dropped the link to both channels. Go back up in the chat. Y'all see the link to both channels. Please click on them. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Watch a couple of videos and just keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Absolutely.
But before you go on, Berto, I gotta give a shout out to Out of Your Falcon and Birdcage LLC. Both of those guys will be on tonight, 8 and 8:30. So y'all please go and check out both of them. Birdcage comes on at 8. Out of Your Falcon Mind comes on at 8:30. So man, y'all please go check out more great Falcons content, man, because we're gonna blow it up this year with all this content coming in.
Yes, sir.
Like Berto said, man, ATL Sports Zone, my boy Jay, Emmanuel, both of these guys have been following us for a good little while now. So y'all please go check them out. Go back up in the comment section. Y'all will see the link to both channels. Please go press subscribe and like. Help these guys get on up there, because we all gonna try to grow at the same time. Shout out to my boy DA, man. I'm still
DA. We're still waiting on him. That's right.
He been bullshitting about 2 years, but
he got a channel now. He at least got the channel.
Yeah, he got the channel. So, but let's keep pushing these content creators out there, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
it's all about
this year, y'all.
Yes, sir.
This year, y'all, we the MFers.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
all about us to show what we can do. It's time for us to get some talk, man, some shine, man. I'm tired of all these other teams getting talked about. Tired of all these folks talking about
stealing the page out of Jock Peterson. I love it. We those mother. You know what?
I'm just saying, man. I'm ready to be the bullies, man. I'm ready to punch. I'm ready to punch back. I'm ready to hit somebody.
I'll tell you what. If Atlanta comes with that fire that they brought at the last practice in the Benz, and what they did to Miami down there the other day, I mean, we're in for a good season. And that was just from the backups, guys. I'm what the veterans do. They got to feed and eat too. So, but if they come with that energy, we in for a great season. I see it.
Come on, man.
We in for a great season, no doubt. So, speaking of the season, speaking of bullying, all things that need a plan, right? You need a plan in order to execute that. And back in February, Raheem consciously said that succession plan. What does a succession plan actually look like? Let's back it up a little bit. In 2021, a succession plan by this same organization was ignored by now our head coach Raheem Morris when he interviewed. They looked at him. They're like, I guess not right now. Yeah. And what happened? 2 more miserable years, and now come full circle now, right? Come this year, Raheem Morris gets hired as the Falcons head coach. And he preaches again, succession plan. So I ask you, gentlemen, what has to happen in this season to assure it's a successful one for Coach Raheem Morris? The succession plan has been somewhat unveiled already, right? In the form of March and then Kirk Cousins really correcting the most important position on the field, which is the quarterback position. Looking at the roster as a whole and noticing certain needs, gaps, whether it be of age or whatever it is, the Falcons went on and they drafted heavy on the defensive side. That's a succession plan. We all know that. We all want him to, but we all know that there's an end game in all of this. So David Onyemata and of course Grady Jarrett, they're not going to last forever. But what do the Falcons do, right? The succession plan for that there was drafting a guy like Rook, bringing in a guy like Brandon Dorlus. Last year, of course, we've already had Zach Harrison in, so we have a good thing working.
Yeah.
I ask you guys in the midst of what I was just saying, what has to go right for Coach Raheem Morris in year one as Falcons head coach to make this season a successful one? I'll start with Jay.
Yeah, I think number one, we got to get a lot out of Kyle Pitts. I think we put a lot of eggs in that basket. He is, quote unquote, our succession plan. We gave him another year. I think we picked up his 5th year. So we really are putting a lot of faith, a lot of trust in the guy that we want him to be over 1,000 yards receiving. We need him to be that second, maybe first option in this offense, because you got to think about it. In order to get Kirk Cousins rolling, he has to have a guy he can trust, he can depend on, a possession receiver. I really like Drake London, but I think that guy for Kirk Cousins is going to be Kyle Pitts. And since you have a lot of money, time, effort invested in Kyle Pitts, we've believed in him. He's kind of left us out to dry for a few years, no disrespect, but he's been hurt. He's been trying to get up to speed. Can we get the all-star level, all-pro level season out of Kyle Pitts? And if we do, I think that will set us up going forward. Not only are we able to double down on Kirk Cousins next year, but it'll allow us the room, the cap space, the flexibility to go in and get additional players. Now, if Kyle Pitts kind of drops a goose egg, which I don't think he will, then we may have to look and see, hey, we have to get more offensive weapons in this system, and we may move on from Kyle Pitts. But I think it's very, very, very important for Kyle Pitts to be that individual that we want and expect him and know he can be. And if so, I think this offense will be one step ahead of where we expect them to be.
Yeah,
I love it.
I like it. Yeah,
E-Man.
I'm gonna go back further than that, and I'm gonna say it like this: Terry Fontenot has proved that he is a genius, and I'm gonna explain why.
Yeah,
we have ever since we released Matt Ryan, we have addressed every single hole that has held us back. The defensive front, getting them some rest, getting them some help. We got far better quarterback play. He has set up Raheem Morris for success. Any coach, I mean, the fact that we got Raheem is a plus. But any coach could come into this system right here and coach this team and have somewhat of a success. Now, further, Terry Fontenot actually has 2 teams sitting on this, sitting right now. You got the team that's going to win now, and you got the team that's going into the future to play with Mike Pitts. We got 2 teams. Yeah. He made a statement in his conference. He made a statement in his conference, and I share this on every podcast I get on. His statement was, today's surplus meets tomorrow's necessity. So today's surplus is going to help Kirk Cousins do what he needs to do while he's here. Tomorrow's necessity from this surplus is going to come about with Michael Penix. By the time Michael Penix is put in here, maybe 2 years or more, if everything is going outstanding, by the time Michael Penix gets put behind that center, that team is already there. There's not going to be no, okay, let's go find this player. Let's go find this player. We got so much depth here, depending on who we keep. This team is already going to be outfitted to win. So we've addressed every situation that has potentially held us out of the postseason. We're gonna have great scoring in the red zone. We're gonna have far more appreciate that, Dave. Far more not turnover, but third down conversion from Kirk Cousins. And like I said before, Kirk Cousins is one of the best, and he has been one of the best in history at converting third downs. Our Achilles heel has been lack of third down turnover ratio.
Yeah.
You know, our defense go out on the field, make a great stand. We come back, go 3 and out, and we do that in three successions. You're gonna wear out your defense. So the fact that Kirk Cousins comes along and could alter that's in itself is a succession plan to winning now, going into the future. Having Michael Penix pick up those same traits, converting third down. I don't know if you guys remember seeing the 2-minute drill that they did at Friday night at practice, and how well Michael Penix looked. And like I said, I think it was only one drop from Michael Penix on that one, and that wasn't his fault. I think the route got cut short or something. But either way, but when you talk about succession plan, Terry Fontenot has this team going to win now and into the future. So we got a lot to look forward to. And I agree with the Kyle Pitts. That's an succession plan in itself.
Right.
We brought him in as a tight end, and now we broadened him out to play wide receiver.
Right.
Come on.
And that's crazy, man. I'm finna move my seat over there because y'all still copying off my paper. But one thing and this the only thing I'm gonna say about succession plan. He has, like you said, man, he has everything in place. One thing about a great team and a great organization, and once they build a great foundation, all they do is just plug and pick, replace this guy, replace this guy. You see what's happening up in Philadelphia. They are doing a great job of just replacing people. And that's what it's about. If you're going to build a great team, start with the foundation, have your key players in place, just like we have Jesse Bates, Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell, Kirk Cousins, Kyle Pitts. We have a lot of key pieces in place already. So if you can keep picking and plucking from these players, if they don't work out, guess what? Fill that hole with somebody else. Pause. But at the end of the day, that's what championships are made of. Teams that know how to build from the ground up and stay that way. You've seen it in the 80s with the 49ers. You've seen it in the 90s with the Cowboys. So at the end of the day, it's just about building the right foundation.
What you gratify, like Smitty just said, we're not going to have to go out and spend time looking for those players. We already got them sitting right here. So if we got one player that's not doing what he's supposed to do, like he said, just plug and play it, turn it around, see who can do what. And
then it's a lot of.
Raheem Morris said it himself. We're looking for guys that can play multiple schemes, and that's why we got Kurt. That's why we got Kyle Pitts going over to play, wide receiver. That's why you have a guy like Evan Ketty playing both edge and linebacker. You got a guy like McGarry who can play tackle as well as guard and do it on both sides. And speaking of McGarry, guys, I don't know if you guys saw McGarry pancake.
Chop Robinson. He did the same thing to Chop Robinson of Miami.
Yeah. So you talking about somebody, and I'm going to watch him some more tomorrow night. I'm going to watch him some more because he was one of the guys on the offensive line that I was kind of suspect on him even improving. But he showed me that he's coming to play this year.
Yeah, and we're going to have
Dwayne Lever had to be one of the most underrated coaches in the league, man, because he's done a hell of a job with his offensive line. But Chris, what you think, man?
Oh, shoot, man. Well, for one thing, just going into just a slightly different direction, Raheem Morris, if y'all look at it, he's trying to build a strong defensive front, period. And if you look at it, he's using arm length, that's one of his main things as well. You look at Zach Harrison, 34-inch arms. James Smith-Williams, 33 3/4. TQ Graham, 35 inches. Even AK-17, excuse me, 34 1/4. So he wants guys that's going to be able to use their effort, use their size and everything to get to the quarterback, disrupt, shoot the gaps and also keep containment. And he'll be able to do that. And we're talking about guys that can play multiple schemes, like E-Man said. That's where James Smith-Williams come in, a guy who was drafted for 4-3, but he'll be used as a 3-4. And he calls himself a tweener himself, he will be contributing in so many different ways. So it's just like we have a deep defensive line, rotation of guys that's going to be coming in and going to be contributing. I can't wait to really see it. Offensively, we have a bunch of guys that are just going to step up. Bijan, Tyler Algier, who shouldn't be forgotten about. And Zach Robinson even said he will not be forgotten about. He will have a significant role. We will see the bruiser back, getting the significant touches. It's probably going to be some formations where he's the lead back and you see Bijan out wide to catch a pass. So it's going to be different things that they do for this team. Is the succession plan is already in place. And really he talks about it, in just about every interview. He gives you a little bit, he gives you a little bit more. And he's already talked about running the South, getting our first division title since 16, making the playoffs since the first time since 17, and also getting a playoff win for the first time since, again, back in 2016. So we already know where we're trying to get to. We already know what we need to do. We need to run the South, need to make the playoffs, and move forward from there.
And I love the energy that we've been seeing so far. This offseason is just a different aura that's at Flowery Branch. Last year, Arthur Smith was about flat as an IHOP pancake, and now they jumped back up. They jumped back up, and they have more energy than the Duracell bunny. But yeah.
Hey, Smitty, I want to go in real quick on this topic.
Do you think?
So, everybody, great point. Appreciate what everybody has to say. Everybody mentioned players that they feel are going to, part of the succession plan, like a Kyle Pitts, like a Tyler Algier, Zach Robinson, etc. But behind all these players are the coaches, right? And I think the succession plan started in February. Now, with the word succession, the word sustainability or sustain also holds some merit or some water, right? Coach Raheem Morris has stated that he loves to surround himself with smart people, and he evidently has done that within, his hiring process of coaches that he's brought in. He sees the bigger picture. He knows that if this Falcons team shows up and shows out in the first year as Zach Robinson being the OC, we're in the scenario that the Texans OC is in, being pursued for head coaching jobs. Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions being pursued for a head coaching job. But what Raheem has been able to do is really acquire a lot of brain trust and have them here as backup plans to the guys that are the coaches now. For Zach Robinson, some may know, Chandler Whitmer is the passing game coordinator, a bright young mind who spent some time at the Ohio State University. You got KJ Black, who is an offensive assistant, spent some time in your guys' backyard of Georgia as a head coach. For Jimmy Lake, there's a guru sitting in that secondary by the name of Jerry Gray. Also, another member, Dave Huxtable, that helps out with the scheme or just the game planning that goes along. Michael Petre, our running backs coach, as well. There's a lot to the succession plan. Always is, we want these players to succeed. We want them to put out the maximum effort, but you got to rely on these coaches as well. So part of Raheem Morris's succession plan was bringing in smart, like he said it, and I quote him, smarter people than him in a room, so it'll allow him to do his job a little bit better. So that's where I feel like the succession plan, that's where it started, and that's where it's going to continue to go. If we lose, God forbid, and after 1 year we lose, Zach, because he lights the world on fire. Raheem has already thought about that, so there are multiple people ready or going to be waiting in the ring and ready to step on in. Absolutely. So that's where I feel like the succession plan is, not taken away from anything what you guys, because everything what you guys have said has been unbelievable. It has been true, but we got to look at the coaches within, because without them, there is no, the players can't do what they do. Chris, what were you going to say?
No, I was just about to add to your point, brother. You can't forget about our guy that we had a segment on as well. Who is Jay Rogers? Jay Rogers is going to come in and run this defensive line. He already has some experience with Eddie Goldman. So let's see what happens when he gets his hands back on him. He has so many different pieces that he can work with, make guys like Elvis Dumerville, like guys like Akeem Hicks and everything, and Pro Bowlers. So once he gets his hand on one of these guys, he may make a few household names this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you think about it, Ruke is built sort of like Akeem Hicks. Athletic, strong hands, And man, look, I didn't know who he was till I watched his film. I'm like, who the hell is this? They picking in the second round with Keandre Sweat still on the board. They're gonna get a guy from Clemson. But when I looked at his tape, you look at a guy that's super athletic, long arms, and man, look, with the right coaching staff, Ruke can be a force up the middle. And y'all remember we found Grady in the 5th round. Nobody was thinking about Grady. He would have been drafted higher had he been 6'3", 6'4". But he's 5'11", 6 feet tall. So guess what? We got a John Randall type talent. So,
John, thank you. He definitely mimics that in some aspects and twitches of the game. He definitely has a little John Randall to him. Sorry, he does. Right. So I'm hoping that translates.
Yeah.
But we got one question by Dave right quick, and then we're gonna let y'all finish up and we're gonna roll. But he said, do you guys think the Falcons can average 70 plays a game? That's a great question.
Damn.
All depends on the opponent. All depends on the flow of the game. You know, sometimes you have a game or two that, you know, may be kind of like a gridlock, and sometimes you may be going 3 and out, back and forth. It all depends on if the defense is playing well. I believe we have the potential to, but everything we already know comes down to the play on the field, the situational football, and etc. But I mean, I think we have potential to.
And it also depends, you know, Kirk Cousins starts out pretty fast. So if he can put the game away, you know, as fast as he has been doing, 70 plays won't even be needed. I think if we go 70 plays, the game is close, right? So and speaking of close games, for those of us that have been worrying about Younghoe Koo and his kicking ability, whether or not he still can kick, guys,
Looks good.
The man didn't even warm up and kick the 56-yarder with room to spare. So yeah, we good. We good. Whether it goes 70 plays, 60 plays, whatever. You know, I think we are all right.
Yeah. Sorry to derail, but I just want to say what an underrated hire Raheem Morris is. A lot of people, I mean, a lot of national media kind of glossed over. We got a lot of love from the players. But we talking about a guy who's succession planning. When have we ever seen that at a head coach? Prepping us for now, prepping us for the future. Like you said, E-Man, in every single position, not only getting the best coaches to surround our organization, but he also got that juice. He got the swag that connects with the players. Like I said, national media, they were talking about Harbaugh, Belichick, whoever. Raheem Morris got hired, slid under the radar, and he's been nothing but the best for this team. We went out and got Kirk Cousins. A lot of people said that was a relationship built and started with Raheem Morris. There is a lot of greatness going on right now, and I think Arthur Blank got it right with this. I mean, he came back to him. They finally got it right, and I think that's something that a lot of people we can talk about this player, this team, succession planning. It starts with that guy up top, and I'm glad we got him on our squad.
Yeah,
indeed.
One thing for sure. Now you've never heard. I ain't gonna say you've never heard it, but it's not too many times you see a head coach, especially at this level, that's willing to take an assistant coach position under a first-year head coach. That tells me Raheem Morris has everybody from the ball boy to the like I said, his coaches that has bought into his program. You know, and when he came in, there was no extensive look as looking for head coaches. You had coaches that were willing to sign and say, "Hey, I'll be your assistant coach." I mean, you got players that are coming back, giving their input. We saw Roddy White at the practice. You know, he come back. He didn't get the invite. He just showed up. He just wanted to be a part of the aura. Which, you know, and that's what you want out of your program.
That's amazing.
And when you have a quarterback like Matt Ryan, who got released, who could still play, got released, and he comes back and still gives the kind of speech that he gave at one of your practices. Guys, that tells me Raheem Morris has it. You know, when he was here as a defensive coordinator, when he was back here in his previous position, when players came off the field, they all gravitated to Raheem Morris. You know, whether you play offense or defense, everybody for some reason wanted to be around that Raheem Morris bunch over there on that sideline. And when you as fans, you don't pay attention to stuff like that. But somebody like me, who've been around for a minute, you pay attention to stuff like that because it's something that you build on in the future. That's not taken away from nobody else, the way nobody else fans. But I've been around for a minute, and I pay attention to stuff that that's not necessarily pushed by the social media. That's going to help us be successful in the future. So, I mean, Raheem Morris was the perfect pick. I like the Raekwon Manuel too, but Raheem Morris was perfect. That was spot on.
And to add on to what you're saying, and me and Berto and Chris been talking about it for a while, is familiarity, and that's something that they have on every aspect of this team. And we've talked about it already on the show. Raheem Morris familiar with Jimmy Lake, familiar with Jerry Gray. You talk about Braden Trice being familiar with Jimmy Lake too. So one step or another. Then you talk about the guy that came over from Green Bay. With Jerry Gray, I think his name is
Justin Hood.
Justin Hood. Yeah. So I mean, familiarity is key. When you have familiarity with just like put it like this: if all of those in the same room, and I only knew 2 of y'all, that means 3 of us had the same ideas out of the 5. By the time we get to the end of the discussion, everybody will be on the same page. And that is exactly how he's building this coaching staff.
Yes.
So familiarity is going to be key. Transparency is going to be key. He's giving y'all an inside look daily as to how he's trying to build his team from the inside out. And I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah. We worked on that camaraderie.
Fantastic. Anybody else want to add anything? The floor is yours, Jay, E-Man. Before we roll out of here, ATL Sports Zone. Any up and coming projects that you have going on your platform that you would like to share with the public? Please, the floor is yours, man.
Yeah. Just main things is breaking down training camp. I'm really, really, really eager to look at this first preseason game. I got an upcoming series where I break down the film on each preseason game, what I'm seeing from an offensive perspective. I lean toward offense because I actually played in college, so that's where I lean toward. But just breaking it down film by film, what Penix is seeing, why he chose this, and so I got a pretty lengthy series coming out for that. But I'm excited to see some game film.
Awesome, man. And like Smitty did already for ATL Sports Zone, he dropped the link in the chat, man. Just please go out and support Jay at ATL Sports Zone. Up next, my guy, Atlanta Falcon fan, Debit, better known as E-Man.
There we go.
What do you got coming for us, man?
I got a cousin named Emmanuel. We call him Man, so I'm going to call you Man.
Yeah, I take it. Hey, look, I've been called some of everything, so.
Hey,
me too. I mean, I'm called the bullshitter every day, but I ain't wrong with it.
That's because never mind. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man.
But guys, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm going to specifically looking at how this team comes together compared to that 2016 team. We're going to pretty much be running the same type of offense. So I'm looking for that team to come together chemistry wise and be able to produce more. Because I think this team here, on paper at present point, can be better than that 2016 team. I think the quarterback position is there's and guys, I have a segment that comes up comparing Matt Ryan and Kirk Cousins for Atlanta, and I'm telling you, I'm going to get under the skin of some people, but trust me, it's going to be a great segment. But Kirk Cousins does a lot for this offense. He changes the dynamic of this offense. And I'm not taking nothing absolutely because I love Matt Ryan. I was there when he got drafted. I supported Matt Ryan. He was one of the smartest quarterbacks we've ever had here in Atlanta. But when it comes to Kirk Cousins changes this team. Like I was saying before, the way he throws the ball and the way the receivers do not have to make a acrobatic catch or make a abnormal move to go catch the ball. Yeah, he puts it there where you can keep it moving. There, I mean, we've seen numerous plays where Julio had to make, he had to overextend himself or make some type of acrobatic catch. Kirk Cousins put it there where it needs to be. you look at how he brought about Jefferson, Thielen, and these are guys that has started out
KJ
being
Osborne paid.
exactly tournament. Yeah, I mean, it's what Kirk Cousins does for this team, and it's what Kirk Cousins is going to do for Raheem. Not for Raheem, for Zach Robinson. Zach Robinson is a first-year coordinator. Kirk Cousins had been around for a minute. Kirk Cousins is going to make Zach Robinson's job easy.
Yeah,
great point.
He's his eyes on the
He's
field.
going to make it easy. So it's just going to be a matter of dictating the right plays for the flow of the game for Zach Robinson. And Kirk Cousins is not going to be that guy that's going to let Zach Robinson hang himself out to dry. Like Matt Ryan, I'm not going to blame it on Matt Ryan. Trust me, guys, I'm not doing that. In the Super Bowl, I can see Kirk Cousins in that same position Matt Ryan was when it came down to that last call. That Kyle shot out there.
But that's why I put it on Kyle Shanahan, because
it's ultimately on Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, he's stubborn as hell, because if he wasn't, Roddy White would have still been in Atlanta Falcons.
Man, I still can't believe that.
But I don't see Kirk Cousins standing by to let that happen. I can see Kirk Cousins stepping up, saying either he's going to audible, which he doesn't normally do anyway, but I can see Kirk Cousins stepping in and taking charge and calling that timeout, say, "Hey, let's talk about this."
Yeah.
So Kirk Cousins, like I said, he changes the dynamic of this team, and going forward, that is what I'm going to be looking for Friday night. That's what I'm going to be looking for going into the preseason, all into the regular season. People say, "Well, Kirk Cousins, he just brought here to win." Now, I'm thinking Kirk Cousins is going to do more than that. I'm looking at NFC Championship and possibly first. That's my perception of it.
Let's go.
Because this team, since I've been a fan, 1978, has never ever been built like this. Never. We have never had the general manager we have now. We never had the head coach like we have now. You can question Jerry Glanville, where everybody bought into his system, or even Dan Reeves. Everybody bought into his system. But
Jerry Glanville just didn't have the talent. He had the talent as a coach. He didn't have the talent on the field. He had the talent on offense, because their run and shoot was tough to stop. But on defense, they just put a bunch of no names out there and just said, "Y'all just go run for it."
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Outside of Deion and Scott Case, and Bobby Butler, everybody else just throw it out there. So
exactly.
Not the replacement.
Long story short, going into the season, man, I'm looking for how Kirk Cousins commands this offense, how he orchestrates this offense, how the team learn for the veteran key pieces that we have here, and so that we can keep this winning going into the future. But guys, y'all look for me. I haven't started my own podcast yet. It was supposed to start last week, but I had some setbacks, had an injury. My schedule got tight. So, but look forward to start. And all these guys we have on the panel here, they're bringing me along like a Michael Penix. So I'm going to eat it up like I'm going to put my Michael Penix jersey on and my wave cap, and I'm just going to sit back with these guys here and eat off of them. And hopefully I'll be able to grow with this team, with this mentality, and bridge this fan base to the point where we get to supporting this fan base supporting this team like we need to. And that's another segment that's coming too, because I think we're underrated as a fan base. I think everybody's quick to point out the negatives and not looking at the positive. Yes, we do have some work as a fan base, but at the same time, we have some work as an organization, as a town, as a city. So it's not just a fan base. So it's a lot of key places that got to come in to build a fan base, like a Dallas fan base, like a Green Bay, like a Chicago or Steelers. So it's going to take work. We've been there before, back in the 80s. But we got to get back there. We have a lot of fans that have a lot of different mindsets now. So, and what they're looking for, we have a lot of mad and angry fans. I'm one of them. I'm angry that we haven't got our Super Bowl yet. So it's been a long time waiting. So, but at the same time, it's all about supporting that logo, supporting that team, and not faltering. We got to remain steadfast in what we do. So, guys, I'll keep on looking for me at Atlanta Falcons Pandemic. I got a lot of good content coming. A lot of funny content coming, so y'all stand by with me. I'll be with you.
No doubt. Chris, what you got working, man? What you working on, man?
Hey, man. Well, got a few things, going on. Trying to see what these Braves going. I'm trying to see what these Braves going to do, man. I don't know what the hell that was, but it was. But I got some Braves content coming, man. I know they're not doing too well right now, but still going to keep talking about them. The Atlanta Hawks. I know preseason and everything will be coming up soon. Workouts and everything's going to be diving back into them. And of course, football is king. So anything dealing with the Falcons, definitely going to be digging into that. Working with content creators like ATL Sports, like E-Man, and others, man, others who've been on the show before. They will be coming back, what I'm saying? So it's going to be a interesting season. Can't wait to see it. And I actually got a little mini announcement, man. Let me see if I can do this, man. New merch for you boys. You know what I'm saying? New merch.
Okay.
New merch,
wow.
Let's go.
Get it in there good. Yeah, man. This is a
keep disappearing. I
bag,
can't see
what I'm
it.
saying? Like the Nike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the A1 forever on there, man.
Okay.
You guys really, man, I don't have a website right now for it, but if anybody, wants to holler at me about it, they're going to be $15, and they like the Nike drawstring. Matter of fact, let me give you a little example. See if I can give you a quick example. So, you got the zipper right here. You can open that up. You can open that up. You know what I'm saying? Dump something in there for you, boy. And then you still got the top up here, you can go and drop something in there, you know what I'm saying, too. You good to go. You know what I'm saying? You can take this thing to work. You can take this thing to the gym. You can just ride around with it, man. Like I said, $15, man.
I don't know nothing
way
about
cheaper.
Gym. I don't know nothing
Way cheaper than any of these Nike drawstring bags that are $20, $25, and $30, man. And support your local content creator. I will be having more things coming soon. But instead of starting off with shirts, I decided, to have something that people can use. And that is bags. People can use bags all the time and taking them all anywhere. People can use them longer, as in, so you can use this for a week more so than, you get something on your shirt. You got to throw it in the dirty clothes. Who knows when the next time you'll see it. Your bag,
you can take it up our channel, boy.
You can take it for the whole week, y'all. So
there you go.
I said, man, $15, man. A1 Forever Sports. I said I'm gonna have some more different things coming too. Ladies, I'm not forgetting about you ladies as well. For the ones who do follow my channel and follow any one of us up here, I do have some things that works for you too. Blink and Snitch. I need to holler at you. But I said that.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
That's good old sis right there. Absolutely.
I just say he need 3 on.
Oh, okay. All right, say no more. No more. Hey man, just hit me in. I put the email in the chat too, man. If anybody, looking for one, man, hey, just please, by all means, send me the email. I promise you, I'll handle it, and I also have somebody that's working behind the scenes with me that's going to be handling it with me as well. So the orders will definitely get in, and if I do run out or anything like that, I definitely, will still get you back everything. So just holler at me, man. That's all. And I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. And of course, find your peace today. Positive energy always creates elevation. And that's how you find your peace, man. And happy to share the platform with my bros, Smitty and Berto, as always. And happy for the newcomers. This is beautiful. Can't wait to see you guys' content. You guys grow and work with you guys even more. Salute to you.
Appreciate it.
We definitely gonna work again, but yeah, we just gonna keep pushing out content, man. I put out about 3 videos today. This is the 4th one. So y'all know I just pump it out. Like church chicken, how they be putting it in the 20-piece box. But there I go talking about chicken again. But y'all can always catch me on Smitty Sports Machine. I'm always rocking with new content creators. And I got to say this, man, because this shit been bothering me for a while. All content creators out there, man, we got to work together, man. Damn all the hate, damn all the stupid shit.
Certainly.
We got to come together and do it for this fan base. Point blank, period. I don't care about the hate. I don't care about who got what going on. If we're gonna do this thing as Falcon fans, we need to do it together. Point blank, period.
Exactly.
Right, because ain't nobody bigger than the logo, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody's bigger than the logo. You feel me?
I've been following Smitty for a while. One time for the fan, I've been following them for a while. They actually encouraged me to get this thing started. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm old school, so and I'm a coach, so I got to write everything down. This is my content.
Oh shit!
Look at look.
Man, you the man, bro. You good.
That's awesome, man. I ain't going.
I got a list created on my screen. I mean, on my computer here, but I did, like I said, I'm a coach. You know, I'm an old school guy, so I try to race forward. That's me. I've been following you guys for a minute. You know, one time for the fan. You know, and since we got one time for the fan on here, guys, if you guys haven't already subscribed, this guy's about to hit that 1,000 wow. So let's go ahead and support
yes.
channel and get him up there. I think he's down to like maybe less than I think it's less than 20 now, I believe. So
Jack's Trading Company.
You guys haven't already done
baby.
He's about to hit it. So I'm gonna be right on. I'm gonna be right on his tail. So he better step his game up because I'm coming.
Here we go. Let's go.
Jack
I like it. Yeah.
Jack Spade over there at one time for the fan. Y'all go shout out to him. But guys, like Smitty said, it's about that logo, and that's the reason why I got this thing started too, to bridge that gap. Because I'm kind of and I think I'm a little older than Smitty. But I'm a little, but I'm in between the old school and the new school.
Look, I got white shit in my beard too. So
But you know, since I got on here, you know, I've met guys like Berto, met guys like Chris. So you know, it's all about bridging that gap. And you know, I'm gonna be man enough to admit I'm an old school cat. So it's been a lot of stuff that, you know, a lot of new guys was, I'm gonna say younger guys were saying. And I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? You know, you don't know what you're talking about. Youngster, get somewhere and sit down. But you know, as I started this thing and started rubbing shoulder with you guys, you know, I'm saying, okay, I see where you're coming from. But we all got one thing in common. You know, we supporting that logo. We want the best for our team, and we enjoy talking Falcon football. And that's what it's all about.
Facts.
That's 100%.
Shout out to our boy Debo Vibes, man. Debo at the stadium last Friday, man. We had a blast. So y'all go check out Debo Vibes, man. He put up a great vlog from the stadium, man. And man, we was rocking out Friday, man. We had an awesome time, man. Watching football, having laughs, and shooting videos, because that's what we do 24/7, man. But Berto, man, you know what time it is, man. We went to an hour and a half, and I'm out of breath, man. So you know what to do.
Damn. Yes, sir. Before we let you guys go and stuff like that, again, man, just echoing what Smitty just said, man. It's all about the logo. We got to all come together and just rock this season out, man. I've said this from the beginning, man. I don't think there's a better fan base, a better group of content creators than us, Atlanta Falcons content creators. I'll put us, not us specifically, but all of our content creators above them all, man. But man, in the spirit of it all, man, this is your boy Berto, your host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show. That's my platform on YouTube. You can follow me on X under RI Falcons as well. I'm also the host of the 95 North Sports Machine, myself and Chris and Smitty and RJ ATL for life, man. That's the what we call the what'd you call us the last time, Smitty?
The Four Horsemen.
There we go.
Get it together.
It was something, right, man? But yes, man, this has been an unbelievable evening, man. Oh, you can catch me tomorrow night on Bleacher Report at 9:55 sharp. I will be going live post game after the Falcons win down in Miami. We break it down. Come through, man. I wish for everybody would come through, man. Everybody that's in the chat that's on Bleacher Report and they follow me.
Back there.
Let's do it.
There you go.
So you can find me over there on Bleacher Report tomorrow night, 9:55 p.m., man. So hopefully I'll see everybody there. We'll give you your Thursday evening back, man. Thank you, everybody. Go ahead, brother.
Jay, did you give out your social media?
Yep. So ATL Sports Zone on X, ATL Sports Zone, pretty much on everything. But yeah, hit me up. I'll be on there. So let me know.
Tonio always on the bullshit. He always got to be late. We ready for some football. 12-5, 13-4. I'm honestly just want Tonio playoff birthday and us making a run. But before we get man, one more thing I forgot to say. August 17th. I think it's 11 o'clock a.m. Yeah, it's early as hell because of the game at 12. We're gonna have a meet and greet on the 17th, and I forgot the venue, but trust me, I'm gonna post it on my page. Bitch warmers. That's what it is.
Bench warmers. Yeah.
Bitch warmers. Stockbridge, Georgia, man. 11 a.m. August 17th. Make sure y'all make it out, man. We had a blast last year. Y'all can check out some of the photos from last year, but this year it's gonna be bigger, better. And we're gonna have some fun, y'all, because that's what we do as Falcon fan, man. I ain't getting drunk, but we're gonna eat some food, watch some football, and talk shit.
I may be on
but that's
crutches,
what
but
we
I'm
do.
gonna be there.
You know,
and
I know
Big
that.
Low and Uncle Steve may have a sing off this time, so y'all just stay tuned.
Hey, there we go. We can finally settle this. We can finally settle this. Who is the lead singer in Southern Silk?
Ain't that something special, man? But gentlemen, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your evening. We'll give it back to you. Peace.